Disclaimer: this episode discusses suicidal ideations and extreme content that may be triggering to some. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to 8158 Stories of Sacrifice, where we honor the bravery of the first responders and the families who stand behind them. Real people, real stories, real heroes. This is 8158. So that's basically what drives you. I know that you had talked about you're waiting on Guinness World Record trophy. What was that for?
Right. So you're in the military, you're doing push-ups all the time. You're just always doing push-ups. And I love doing push-ups. I'll just do push-ups all the time just to do them. And one time a guy a long time ago back in 2019 saw me at the gym and I'm just doing push-ups. And he goes, dude, how many did you just do? I was like, about 90. And he goes, you did them in like a minute. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, you ever think about doing the Guinness Book of Records? I'm like, no, none of that. So I go, all right, let me look into this. And there's just tons of push-up records, tons of them. Some of them with your fingers, diamond, with a backpack, just tons of them. I mean, for a day, for an hour, for a minute, just tons of these. There was one that interests me the most, and there's this guy, he's Russian, and it's a weighted backpack. So he has one from 50 pounds, 75 to 100 pounds, and he's doing push-ups. And I'm like watching this video, and I'm like, I could do this. And I was like, all right, let me try it out. So the first time you put a 100-pound backpack, so you just put a weight of 100 pounds in a backpack and you put it on your back. Number one, it takes a minute because it's 100 pounds, and you put it on, and then the minute you lay, you get in push-up position, you can feel that weight pushing against you even more. So for the first training times I was doing it, I'm like, this is going to be tough, but I could do it. So I started doing 20, then I did 30, then I did 40, and I kept just pushing my number up every time. And I made sure that I would do those first before I hit any weights, because if you hit weights first and you try to do that, your arms can't do it. So I would do that first before my workout, and I just kept training. So I finally goes, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to videotape, do all the whole videotaping. I didn't bring in anybody. I didn't do a show. I had one buddy there as a witness, but nothing showish. And I recorded it, and I did a time, date, stamp, everything I needed to do for Guinness, and I sent it to him. And I did, I think it was 89, 91, about those numbers, because you want to do more than what the other guy
Yeah.
did, just in case they look at him and like, this doesn't count for whatever reason. I did go all the way down. So I know it takes time to hear back from them. I don't know if I did it or not. I mean, only something, either a phone call or email or having a thing in the mailbox with the little plaque saying you did it. So I'm excited. And if I did it for whatever reason, I'm gonna fucking keep trying. I'm gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep going, because it was fun for me. It was a great time. It was a great thing that I'm like, all right, let's bring that title to America, and it's great. So we'll see. I'm crossing my fingers, but we'll see what happens. So uh,
Yeah, I definitely hope you get that. That's pretty awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so too. Man.
Given the obstacles that you've been handed and being told that you were never going to walk again. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just a true testament that you can put your mind to do anything you want to and never let
That's right.
anybody tell you can't.
That's right. There's a guy that, and unfortunately, there's some people out there, obviously, that will never walk again. You know what I mean? That are in wheelchairs permanently. And a buddy
Yeah.
of mine, Marine Corps veteran, here in the Kingwood area with me, he's in a wheelchair, no legs. Obviously, he will
Mm.
never walk again. But this doesn't stop him from not working out. I see this
Right.
dude all the time at the gym, and he finds ways to work out. He gets on the cable machines. He puts the brakes on his wheelchair so he doesn't move when he's doing on the cable machines. And
Right.
he's there sweating. He's getting a workout in. Up working his upper body and doing whatever he can do. So it's funny because a lot of people, when they see him, they're like, "Whoa," And he has his headphones on. He's doing his thing, and I'll say hi to him. Like, I don't. When people are working out, I don't like to bother them because it's their time. if they see me or whatever, I'll wave my hand or I'll give them a fist bump or, unless when you're done working out, you want to come talk to me, that's great. But I don't like bothering people. So I see him and I'll just give him a salute or give him a fist bump. But he's there grinding at the gym. So when I see that and I see other people looking at him, you kind of you kind of start building this like, I have no excuse. I have two legs. I have two arms. I have no excuse not to move my body at the gym. You don't even have to be at the gym. You could just go take a walk around your house, walk around your block, few weights at your house. There's no excuse not to move your body as God intended to move your body in working out. So
Absolutely. Uh, so I was going to move on here, and we're going to talk about this safe space that you've created. Uh, so for your poker nights, it helps veterans with the VA claims. Uh, why is community so important to you?
So these poker nights started last year. I like playing poker. I like watching poker. Played poker for a long time. Nothing in like crazy in Vegas. Nothing like that. One day, maybe I'd love to be on the World Series of Poker. At least try it. That's way from the future from now. Just to say I tried it. You know what I mean? Probably lose immediately because that's how it is now all the time.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I never really win any, at all, even in my own house. People say, "Oh, the house always wins." Not my house, not mine. And the only time I won, and I'll tell you here in a minute. So last year, just started building this. It wasn't nothing like this that I have in front of me. It was just a normal picnic table and one of those grass things that you can buy on Amazon. Just a grass little tablecloth with a
Yeah.
little poker settings and all that. Buy some cheap chips at Walmart and invited some friends. And we just started playing. I bought some pizzas, brought up some drinks, got the TV in here, put on the ESPN, whatever sport's going on. And we start playing, we start having fun. And one thing I noticed is that they got to know me a little bit more. I got to know them a little bit more. So it built this rapport, it built this, just like, hey, I trust you, you're trusting me. Let's share more and more about our lives. And then little by little, stories started coming out. Things started coming out where it's like, let's help each other.
Mhm.
And so my wife would, just pop their head in and she saw what we were doing and she loved it. I get back done, go back to the house, go back in the living room. And my wife looks at me and she goes, "You guys have fun?" I'm like, "It's a blast." And I don't discuss anything with my wife, whatever was said. That was literally the only thing. "You have fun?" "I had a great time." That was it. And she knows. She knows not to ask anymore. And then she looked at me. She goes, "Your poker table sucked." I was like, "Wait, what are you talking about? Poker table sucks?" She goes, "You look cheap." I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's just a table, folding table, and a cloth poker set and a cheap set at Walmart." She goes, "You see yourself doing this from now on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can see myself doing this more and more." And she goes, "All right, let's find you better poker stuff." And I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna lie to that. I'm not gonna stop you from that." So I started looking online. I started looking, and I mean, these poker tables, man, they're expensive. They go anywhere from 500 to 1,000 to a couple of me, depending on wood and all this stuff. I'm like, man, that's a lot of money. I don't want to. That's just crazy. And so one day we're in Costco. I'm gonna give a shout out to Costco because Costco, you started all this. You
Right.
started this because I go to Costco. We're just stopping around like we normally do, and I look, and there's this poker table there at Costco, and it was on sale for a few $100, saving like a couple hundred. Then was I think it was like 200-300 bucks compared to like 5 or 6 that they had. And I go look at it, and I'm like, this is it. This is the poker table. What's crazy is that we did enough shopping at Costco to fill up our trunk. You know how that is. So
Yeah.
and there was only like 4 left. And I was like, oh, heck no. This is not going to get away from me. Heck no. So we went home, unloaded the car as fast as we can, and I went back to Costco, made sure I got one of them and put it in the back of my trunk. And this thing is heavy. So I got someone else to help me and all that. Came home, set it up, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. It lights up, plenty of room. I mean, it's a 10-seater, but you could fit about 14 if you do it. Everybody's kind of squeezing it, but no one really cares. And I was like, this is it. This is perfect right here. So then we're playing with the old Walmart chips I had, right? Nothing against that. Nothing against Walmart chips. Great, great time. Whatever you got to do. So wife comes out here, kind of pokes out, see how we're doing if we need anything. And we get back inside, same thing. My wife looks at me, she goes, "You got a great table." I was like, "No, thanks. It's a great table." And she goes, "Your chips suck though." I was like, "All right." She goes, "Let's see online for you 5 better chips." I'm like, "All right." So I go online, obviously I go on Amazon and I find these nice marked chips here. 500 to 25. They're great clay chips marked. And, and it's just been opening up this amazing door that has been. And it's just amazing that every time now I get a full table, and they're different people, and people can't make this. Hey, man, I can't make it for whatever reason. No problem. I know I could find someone else. And every poker table I have, it's been filled. And I have now a list of people because what it is, a lot of people think, oh, it's a kumbaya moment. It's not. It's just a bunch of guys talking. If you want to share whatever you're going in life, that's great. If you don't need to. There's no pressure. It's not like we go around the table going, okay, tell us what you're dealing with. It's nothing like that. It's just a bunch of men from veterans to non-veterans, some active duty military that just talking, having fun, joking, being themselves. If they want to share a few things, and a lot of them have, either before or during or after poker, what they're going through, whatever ways you could help them, networking, guys exchange numbers. I had one guy, this was about 2 weeks ago, that they'd never met before. He's a Coast Guard active duty officer. This other guy's an Army sergeant, good friends. And we're sitting across, and their both wives are pregnant, due pretty much the exact same time,
Oh wow.
and they just found that out right then and there. And they're like, oh shit, really, man? Yeah, what's your wife do? Oh, you kidding me? And I was like, that is crazy. I mean, like a one in a million type of thing right there. You know what I mean? And they were talking and, exchanging stories and how their wives were and all that. But this is exactly what I'm so thankful that I created here. And and a lot of people say, well, I don't know how to play poker. It's okay. We'll teach you. I have people DMing me, hey man, I don't know how to play poker, but can I still come? You don't have to play poker. You can just sit back and watch us and play. And I guarantee you, you're going to want to play, and we'll deal you in. You know what I mean? And it's just a lot of fun. And we teach people to play. I have a rule that if you don't know how to play, I kind of make a vote, and I go, okay, who doesn't know how to play? I said, be honest. There's no judgment here. And a few people raise their hands. I'm like, okay, this is the rule. Anybody that folds, because when you fold, you're no longer in the game for that hand. You're done playing. Help that person. So they get behind that person. They look at their cards, and what makes it even harder though, because they'll look at their cards or whisper in his ear what to do, right, and how to play, what hand to fold, or how much to bet. So now I'm reading that person's head, and then I'm trying to read both people to try to figure out if they got a good hand or not. So I got two heads that I'm trying to read instead of one because he's whispering in his ear. So I'm thinking I'm going to get a reaction from him. No, man, he's like just dead. There was a guy, he had pocket aces, and he's like, "What do I do?" And you just see the guys look at his hand, and you can tell that he had a good hand, but he didn't want to break because obviously everybody's looking at him, and he's really trying to help him win. Like that's the thing. If you know how to play, we want you to win. We're going to do everything we can to help you to win. And little by little, you'll start learning the hands. You'll start learning how to play to the point where an hour goes by, and you're like, "All right, man, what you need?" I think I got it, man. And they're like, all right, tell me what you're going to do. He goes, well, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm like, oh, crap, you do got it. Heck yeah, man. Keep it going. You know what I mean? And it's like, we want that. We don't want you to be like, oh, okay, well, you lost. Bye. No, that's not the purpose of this game. And
Right.
so, yeah, pocket aces. And we're going around, and you could tell he's holding like the $1,000 chips in his hand. And I'm like, no, man, this guy has something good because he's holding $1,000 chips. And then you see the whisper, and all of a sudden you see him come down to like $100. And I'm watching his hands. I'm like, all right, he had $1,000 chips in his hand. Now he come to $100. So either he's bluffing or he's got some good and he's getting knowledge from this guy. Sure, if he had pocket aces, wiped everybody out. I mean, one guy he just took out completely, and because he's thinking he had nothing, and he played it really well.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he's like, he got excited. He's like, oh my goodness, he got so excited. And he's just getting this pile of chips. And everybody's being excited for him. I mean, they're talking crap. They're like, yeah, sure, you don't know how to play. Sure. Yeah, sure, you don't know how to play. Yeah, you're just coming to bluff it. You knew how to play. Obviously he did it, but we're just, that's the fun we have. But it's built a camaraderie now, and it's built a waiting list that I'm not ahead. I'm like, man, I need to get another poker table. I went back to Costco and they were completely sold out. So Costco, get some poker tables because I need another one. Um, but it's amazing. This opportunity has just been amazing, and I'm very thankful. And I still call out his name, Ricky, from a news reporter from KPRC2 News. When
Mhm.
I did this Memorial Day walk, me and a buddy John from Space City Gym here in Humble, owner of it, Navy veteran, great guy. I talked to him like, hey man, I want to do something for Memorial Day. I don't know what. And we were talking back and forth. I'm like, let's do a mile ruck. And then it went from like 5 miles to 10-mile ruck with 50-pound packs on you. And once again, you're going back to my disability. I know my limits. I know what I can and cannot do. And I'm like, let's do it. I'll put a brace on, whatever I got to do. I'll pop a few, ibuprofen, whatever I need to do to keep this going. So we put it on Instagram. We advertised it. We were thinking maybe we're going to get like 5 or 10 people. We had over about 40 or 50 there. It was awesome. People that just came out and just came out wanting to support. And there was people there that this is the first time that they ever done any type of physical exercise like this.
Hmm.
And so they asked me and John talked, and he goes, "Hey man, we're gonna take breaks, right?" I'm like, absolutely. So like every few miles, we just took a break, we stopped, put our packs down, drink some water, and we had a follow van. I took the Baker to Vegas type of experience that I went through and had a follow van. Thank you, U.S. Air Force. Your guys' recruiting office provided the van. Air Force recruiter was in the van driving it. We decorated the van, carried the load. Was the charity that we were walking for, and we raised a couple thousand for them, which was awesome. And they give out money to veterans and other first responders. But we had the follow van, and I made it known to everybody before we started. I said, "Listen, after we had a little mini opening ceremony, we had Pledge Allegiance, things like that, moment of silence for our troops that we lost. After that, I said, listen, if you need to sit in that follow van, if you need a break, there's no judgment. Go and take a sit. Go sit down. You know what I mean? Take a minute because you're still in this with us. You're supporting us. But if your leg or your back or something is going on, keep going, take a minute. It's okay." And I remember we got done, and that last mile, when once again, man, you see that finish line, I was like, I was it. My body was just done. But one thing that was great is that I didn't know that the news was. I mean, the news was already bringing us up that we were going to do this, and also Ricky from KPRC2 News was there while we're doing it. And if you look on my Instagram, you go all the way down, he pretty much starts interviewing me, talking to me what the reason why we're doing this and planning it. And it was great. I didn't know that one news interview would have such a huge impact in my life. Um, because after that happened on Sunday before Memorial Day this year. And it was so funny, man. I love my wife. We not just wives, we're like best friends. Is that she comes up to me that Monday, Memorial Day weekend, and she goes, "All right, we have anything going on today?" I was like, "Nope." She's "All right, it's family time, right?" I was like, "Yeah, it's family time. That's it. Like that's it." Like because it was busy planning all this and coordinating and logistics and all that, and we got done with it on Sunday. So I was like, "Baby, that's it. We're staying home all day on Monday, enjoying our days off. Watching Disney movies with my daughter. I mean, the house is a wreck. We didn't care. We're just enjoying ourselves." All of a sudden, my phone goes off, and I'm like, "I don't know this number. It's calling me on Memorial Day." You know what I mean? So I pick it up, and it was KPRC2 News, and they're like, "Hey, we want to do a story on you." I was like, "Okay, cool. When? Right now?" I was like, "All right, where?" And they're like, "At your house." I was like, "Dude, I'm in like my shorts, my shirt. The house is a wreck. No one looks good. It's just we didn't think anything." So I was like, I look at my wife and I'm like, "Yeah, so don't be mad at me. This is what's about to happen." And she just looks at her, the eyes pop open. I said, "Listen, listen, listen. I could, I don't have to do this. It's okay. I know it's our family day." She looked at me dead in the eyes and she goes, "You need to do this."
Right.
Because they want to talk to me about veteran suicide. She goes, "You need to do this." She goes, "You don't know how many people you're going to affect by doing the story." I was like, "All right."
Okay.
So the news came, cleaned up the garage a little bit, did all this. And I say, "Where do you guys want to do this?" And they're like, "Your poker table." And I was like, "All right." So, put the poker table. They asked me if I had another veteran friend of mine. I call him up, like, "Dude, what are you doing?" He goes, "I just came out of the gym." Mike Grabowski, a great guy, great Air Force veteran. He goes, I said, "Boo, do you want to be able to do this really quick? Talk about military suicide?" And he goes, "Well, I'm in gym shorts and a shirt." And I was like, "I'm sure they don't mind." So they came and if you look down my Instagram, you can see that interview that we had and talking about a similar story I'm bringing up to you in your podcast about military suicide and how easy it is for a veteran to fall into that dark hole and
Right.
how easy it is. There's a reason why there's 22 a day. And if you look at the math of that, 22 a day, and if you count it down to seconds and minutes and hours of the day, that means right now in this hour that we've been talking, veterans have taken their own life.
Yeah. So
I mean, think about the mind, think about the math of that, and you're like, I wish I could have helped. I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have said something or did something to not have this person take their own life. And a lot of these veterans, it even doesn't have to be a veteran. It could be a first responder. It could be someone that's not even a veteran or first responder that's dealing with life's hard times that they're going through.
Right.
There's people out there every single day, every single day. Your friends could be one of them that they're just keeping it very quiet. They're just keeping it very safe. I'm like, hey, I don't want to tell anybody, but there's
Yeah.
something going on. So if you build a safe space like this, and it doesn't have to be poker, it could be mini golf, it could be golf, it could be, going to a game, it could be anything where you just bring your guys in and say, hey man, let's go to a restaurant. Just be like, hey man, let's go eat. Have a tradition where it's starting at least twice a month. You know what I mean? And I pay for the pizzas and drinks and food, and so I don't care. People try to give me money, I don't want it. I said it's not the point. I said the point is to bring everybody around here and have fun and build a camaraderie and play, you know. And we have a little, someone asked me, hey, do we have a buy-in? I'm like, yeah, if you want to put 20 bucks in as a buy-in just for fun, to make it a little competitive, that's great. You don't have to. You can play coming here for fun. No big deal. We're not doing this to try to get rich or make money. That's not it. You know what I mean? And like, once go back to that story, I never win. These guys are great. These guys are really good at playing. Even some of these guys that we train and they come in, they don't know how to play. They're winning. They're winning big. And there was one time that I did win, which I don't even count as a win at all, is my wife she was like, all right, you got some great chips, you got a table, your deck of cards are just normal deck of cards. She goes, if you go on eBay or something, buy like ones that like they use in the casino, Vegas, where they're done with them, they put holes in them or they cut them. And so I go on eBay, buy it for like $5. I'm like, cool. And these MGM Grand cards. MGM Grand. Whoever's doing your old cards, hear the story because something needs to be fixed. Because I get the deck of cards, they're sealed in the sticker, right? So I trust there's 52 cards in the deck there. So we start playing. And my buddy Jonathan, who's just the coolest guy because he's so honest and he's so smart too. And we're playing. And everybody gets a chance to be a dealer, and he's the dealer. And you just see his face, and and he's kind of has this weird face on him, and he's dealing, and you know, and I look at him like, "You, everything all right?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He's like, "Okay," and we're like already going in like hour 2.5, 3 hours of playing poker, so we're pretty much 80%, 90% done.
Hmm.
And so he's like, "All right," so we get done playing, and surprisingly, I win. I win with a good hand, and I little by little I'm winning, winning. Now, even if you're missing cards from a deck, if you know what you're doing, you could still play. But missing
Hmm.
cards from a deck does affect the entire game. So what
Right.
I didn't realize is we were missing cards from that deck. And he
Oh.
found out during the game of one of his times he was playing the dealer, like within literally maybe, like I said, we're almost already done. People already lost and they went home, and we're pretty much wrapping it up. And so at the end of the game, everybody leaves, and he texts me and he goes, "Hey, bro, count your cards." I was like, "What do you mean count my cards?" He goes, "Bro, there's 42 cards in that deck. There's supposed to be 52 cards in the deck." I was like, "What are you talking about,
Right.
man?" He's like, "Yeah." So I go, the garage is empty and everybody's gone. And I go start counting the cards, and I'm obviously tired. I'm like, "Wait, I count 52. Hold on, let me count them again." So I play solitary so I could see which cards are missing. Dude, I'm missing a jack, an ace, a queen, a few face cards, like
Oh.
completely deck that obviously makes a huge decision when you're playing poker. You know what I mean? So if someone's thinking, man, I got two aces, well, obviously there's not an ace in there because there's no ace there. You know what I mean? Just things like that. So obviously it affects how people bet and everything.
Right.
And so I text message everybody. I was like, guys, this is what just happened. And I think I won like $100 or something. Like I said, everybody puts in 20. It's very cheap, just for fun. I say, you don't have to. And I go, here, where's your Zelle? Then I'm gonna mail your money back because I didn't deserve it. I didn't know it was cheating. You know what I mean? We didn't know because we're just
Right.
playing. And so to this day, after that, I make a little vow to myself where I buy an unpacked deck, sealed, or if it's not sealed, throw it to someone. I go, count them, and it's just a random person. I count them just to make sure there's 52 cards in that deck, just to play fair. But the point of all this is it's a fun time. It builds that camaraderie. It builds that rapport. It builds relationships. It builds this safe space that men could just go, I got this going on. Let's talk about it. Hey man, can you help me with this? Hey, Nothing like a therapy session where we're going around the table. Because a lot of that times, man, you know, nothing wrong with therapy, nothing wrong with talking to a counselor, nothing wrong in that. I've had my share. Sometimes some guys just want a safe place with other guys to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
And everybody that's listening to this, all your followers and all your subscribers and everybody that's watching this right now, if you have someone, if you have a space for it, if you have the time for it, build your own safe space because you don't know how many people you're going to affect. If it's poker, if it's going to a game, if it's going to eat at a restaurant, build a safe space. Yeah, you might have to invest some money in it, but I could guarantee you right now, it's going to be worth it in the long run. It really is. And so when the news came and they put up a studio in my garage and they filmed me and we did this amazing news broadcast that was on all weekend and Memorial Day weekend, man, it just exploded after that. It just really did. And I'm very humbled by it because these are the people, these are the men that are going, hey, man, I need someone to talk to. I need that safe space.
Mhm.
And even if they don't say anything at the first time you meet them, little by little, you just start getting to know them. They start, okay, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. And sometimes guys, they don't need advice. They just need an ear. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And so anytime a guy wants to talk to me, I go, hey, man, do you need advice from this or you just need an ear? No, man, I just need an ear. I got you, bro. And I just sit there and they just talk and they talk until they ask me a question and they go, all right, man, what would you do? Or how do you feel? Or what do you think? Okay. Let me share with that with you. And it just led on to more and more. And then you were bringing up the VA claims. And, obviously I'm a disabled veteran. And a lot of people, they go, hey, man, you're rated. I'm like, yeah, I'm rated. Well, I'm trying to get higher rating, but I just don't know what I'm doing. And there's so many different paperwork, there's so many different claims, there's so much different codes. There's just the VA makes it in a way where it's like it makes getting disability claims almost, intimidating for someone that doesn't know what they're doing. And then all of a sudden they hire these companies that and there's nothing wrong with these companies. Everybody's out to try to help other people and make an entrepreneurship and make money. I get it. I get it. But some of these companies charge a lot of money, almost predatory, on the back end after you get your disability.
Mm.
I've called some of these companies. I've tried to talk to them. And I get it. Like, yes, it costs money to hire staff and do what you're doing in advertising. I get it. But at the same time, it's like for someone that doesn't know what they're doing and going to these guys and going, hey, man, can you help me with my VA benefits? And they're like, well, this is how much it's going to charge you. Yeah, you're going to be like, okay. You know what I mean? Not realizing that actually that's a lot of money that you're going to get back from back pay or from your claim and all this stuff. So it started for me last year when a buddy of mine said, hey, man, I'm at 30%. And I'm trying to get to higher. I don't know how much higher, but anything helps. And I know my medical disability is going, my injuries and everything's just getting worse and worse and worse. And I said, okay, let me help you, man. So we go and bring your laptop. We'll go to a restaurant or a bar that we know has Wi-Fi. I said, get all your login stuff for the VA. And I said, do me a favor, you're going to do homework before I meet you. I said, you're going to go on a Word document, head to toe, mentally and physically, what you feel is wrong with you. You know what I mean? Everything, head to toe. And then we're going to go through that, and I'm going to help you probably add more things or take away, what I feel fit.
Yeah.
And, we're going to go through this. So, I mean, dude, I'll be at these restaurants for hours, on this laptop. And, I'm just going to town, making claims and making sentences and make sure the wording is right. Make sure we use a lot of it is the right wording. A lot of it is, how does it affect you and your personal life? You know what I mean? If you know you're in pain, and us men, especially veterans and first responders, we know what we could deal with. We know our pain. We know our pain threshold. That's still no excuse. You still have pain. So if you're like, if the doctor asks you, hey man, how do you feel? Does it affect, your normal life? I'm fine, man. I still do what I need to do. Guess what? That's not going to do nothing for you because it's going to show that doctor, all right, well, this guy's still fine. He's not, yeah, he's in pain, but he's still normal life. No, I mean, you're in pain. You've dealt with that pain for so long that now it's like second nature to you, where now it's like, it is what it is. And I just move on. So now I'm trying to get these service connected disability veterans going, no, man, you served your country, you fought for this country, you got injured. If it's medical, mentally, or physically, and it's getting worse, you got glass in your body, you got a bullet shell in your body that you're like, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine, bro. You deserve the benefits you need. So I help these guys, and we sit down with them, and I help them, and I put in the claims for them. I help them what to say, when not to say at the VA, when these doctors call them up. And so far, I've gotten 5 veterans this year and a half alone, 100% by helping them out, and I'm very grateful. And they go, "Oh man, I'm getting all this back pay. Let me throw you." No, I don't want a fucking penny. I don't. You keep it. That's all yours, man. You deserve it. Congratulations. This is what you deserve. And all it is because these guys didn't realize how to do it. They knew they had something wrong with them. They just didn't know the paperwork. They didn't know all the stuff that you have to go through. And like I have the Texas Veterans Commission here, and you have the VFW, and you have all these agencies and companies that, that they're nonprofits that help you with these. And that's great.
Mhm.
But there's a whole list of them that they're working on. I mean, you're just one person with all these other veterans that they're helping. So are they giving you that time, that hours time to really go down into depth what's wrong with you and document it? Or it's just like, okay, let's finish this as fast as we can. You know what I mean? Because I get it. You're just one in all these other people that they're helping. It's like a factory, assembly line, and they do an amazing work. They do. But for me, I love doing it because it's like I could take my time with them. There's no rush. I think we closed down a restaurant one time just to make sure that we got everything done we got to need to get done, and help them through every step of the way. They'll call me, "Hey man, I'm about to go to my VA appointment, this and this." I'm like, "Okay, this is what you need to tell them. Be honest, but at the same time, be honest with what your pain is. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't, no, man, I'm good." When you're limping all the time because of this injury. "No, no, man, I'm good. I'm a man. I can suck it up." That's not the time to suck it up. That's the time
Yeah.
to be honest, to go, "No, this is how it affects my daily life. This is how it affects my marriage. This is how it affects my kids. This is how it affects my job. This is how it affects everything." That's what they want to hear, and that's what I make sure I help these veterans to make sure they understand that.
That's pretty awesome. And how much, because you helped your friend out, how much uh, did he go up in rating?
Oh, thousands, thousands.
Wow.
So I mean, just 30% is like $400. Being 100%, you're close to 4 or 5 thousand a month. And then the
Oh,
back
wow.
pay alone, just the back pay alone, depending on how long the claim started, you're looking at over 7, 8, $10,000 sometimes regarding the back pay. So,
Wow.
yeah,
So he got what he deserved.
he did. He deserved it, every penny. So,
That's pretty awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Uh, so let's talk about your podcast, Alpha Ready. What can listeners expect from your podcast?
so the podcast is a work in progress right now. I'm putting my most of my attention and most of my work into my clothing store, Alpha Ready Co. And it started man 6 months ago, pretty much, yeah, May, a few months ago, right after Memorial Day. I enjoyed what I did so much, and enjoying the poker nights that I'm doing and helping these veterans with claims. And I just felt like, I just want to do more. I just want to do more. It's just like I'm only a one man person, but I felt like I want to do more.
Mhm.
And I go, what can I do more? Well, one day I was, on my laptop, and I love wearing shirts, at the gym and stuff like that. And I was just like, I'd go and buy a workout shirt, and I'm like, "Dang, there's just nothing that I saw that I liked. Nothing that's, yeah, it's like, a few Americana shirts, cool, but I was like, man, I'm missing something. There's something that I just want to. So I was like, I'm gonna design it myself. So sure enough, I go and I just start designing my own shirt, something I'd never done before. And I just pull up a few software systems, Canva and a few other apps, and I just start designing. And I start going, okay, this is what I want. Let me see what I can do. And then obviously wearing a uniform for so long, and the Coast Guard, being in law enforcement and Army, you know how uniform's structured. You got the flag right here, and then you
Mhm.
got your military patch right here, wherever unit's at. And I go, let me make a shirt that looks similar to an Army uniform. And I got, my American patch, and then I got my unit patch right here, which is now my clothing logo. And so I started designing it. And I designed one. My first one has an eagle with an M4 on it. I was like, that's badass. And then I go, what means to me? Like, I love reading quotes. I love reading motivational things. I have a few of them down in my garage on my wall. Conor McGregor and The Rock and a few other motivational people, and I read those all the time. And I go, what motivates me to live my normal everyday life, being American, being a veteran, And I go, oh, the oath of enlistment, the oath that
Mhm.
you take when you first swear into MEPS, joining the military, and then when you re up in the military, it's the same oath. And pretty much saying, hey, I protect this great country. I listen to any commands given to me. I listen to the President of the United States, and it's a very strong oath that's been in for generations. So I go, what if I put that on the back of a t-shirt? Let me see what that says. So I put that on there and made it. And I was like, all right, all right. And then I find a clothing vendor, which I'm glad I found one here in the United States in San Diego, my old hometown. And that was able to make the shirt for me and then shipped it to me. And I looked at it and I was like, this is badass. All right, I like this. And I go, okay, well, let me do my own QT work on it. So let me wash it. So I go to the gym, I get it sweaty, throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer. Next day, do the same thing over and over again. I washed this shirt for like 30 times and nothing happened to it. No shrinkage, no dyeing of the logos, nothing. And I was like, all right, I think I got something here. And so I started making some more t-shirts. I started making some more t-shirts. And I started wearing them at the gym and started wearing them at the gym. And then people started going like, what is that shirt? What is that? Where'd you get it? I'm like, oh, I made this. I'm like, dude, I'll buy one off you. I'm like, all right. It was crazy because I'm like, I didn't do it for the money. I did it for just to have this creativity and wear something prideful of Americana and veteran and first responder and, being military, wearing that and showing people, hey, look, man, this is the country I live in. This is the country I protect, this country I serve. And so I started building more and more of these. And I go, okay, well, the money part of it, I get these shirts, for about 15 to 20 bucks, but I don't need, I didn't do this to make millions. I didn't do this to be, drive around in a Ferrari tomorrow. That's not my goal. I did it because I love spreading the word of motivation, of patriotism. But I go, I want to give whatever I make, I
Right.
want to give it, like there's this guy here in Houston, famous guy named Mattress Mac, and I've met him countless of times. You see him on my Instagram, great guy, older gentleman, owns several furniture warehouses here in Houston. He's very well known for betting millions on sporting events. He's won some, he's lost some. But one thing that a lot of people don't know about him, unless you live in the Houston area, is that he loves to give. So like around the Christmas time, he'll go find like the most families that need help. Either their house got wiped out through a hurricane, or people lost their jobs, or people died, or something happened to that family that they're just struggling. You know what I mean? Or they don't have furniture or anything. And you just see like 4 truckloads of furniture come in and just reamp the whole house for free. Just give it to them. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's badass. Because he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? That's money in his pocket, but he doesn't care. He wants to help people. And there's this other one where I don't know if you know this, but Newman's Own salad dressing.
Mhm.
Well, Newman's Own. You just go where the salad dressing is, Newman's Own. You know, every penny of that goes to a nonprofit. He doesn't
Really?
make any money. There's no profit on that. Every money,
Wow.
and it says it right there on the label. And I go, that's badass. Because he's not worried like I'm not doing this to be a millionaire. I'm not doing this. I just want to help. Because here's the thing: where happens when you die with your money? It doesn't go with
Ain't
you. It
nope.
doesn't. But what you do with that money does go with you. It does help other people. It does open doors and helps charities. So I started thinking, I'm like, okay, I want to give a percentage to a charity every month, you know? And I didn't think like 10 or 5%. I'm thinking a quarter of what I make every month goes to a nonprofit charity. So 25% of it. So that means my profit margin is very, very small, which I didn't care anyways. That's not what I did it for. I already have a job. I already, have a nice, thing coming in from the VA every month for my disability. I love where I live. I don't need a mansion. I don't need a Ferrari. I drive a Ford. That literally the right side window thing is coming off because I hit the garage the other day, so I need to get that replaced. But like it's that's not what I do it for. And so I go, okay, I'm gonna do it for charities. Okay, now, and I started, keep researching this. I go, hold on. There's a lot of charities out there. There's the Wounded Warrior Project. There's the Gary Sinise Foundation. There's Tunnel for Towers. Great charities, amazing charities. They do amazing work. I mean, Gary Sinise Foundation builds houses for veterans that need it. Amazing. But I go, there has to be charities out there that they don't get as big as popular as these ones. They don't get as much funding as these ones, but still do amazing work. You know what I mean? And so I started digging around, and all of a sudden I came across a charity called Hearts for Heroes. And I looked at them on Instagram, I'm like, what do these guys do? And I look and I'm following them on Instagram and I see all the videos and I see everything they do. And what these retired first responders do is they realize the importance of having service animals. Now, I got two dogs. One of them drives me crazy. I still love her, but she just likes to chew up the house, and I got to get that trained. But I just love her still, and she does help me. Like, if I'm going through something, they just come and give this one. They show that, hey, you know what, pet me because I want to show you love too as well.
Right.
And so, but these this amazing couple, the owners of Hearts for Heroes, they say, okay, you know what? Let's train service animals and give them to fire station and police stations. And so they train them good enough where they go and actually train them at the station. So, like, if you're working at a fire station or a firefighter, and that alarm goes off, and all right, duty calls, that dog automatically runs into its kennel and stays there till you return. It's not out there, chewing on stuff in the fire station and making a mess of it. Actually waits till you return, and then the firefighters come back, and then the dog comes out and shows love and gives support. Because being a first responder, if you're an EMS or if you're a firefighter, if you're in law enforcement, you see things every single day that take a toll on you mentally. There's
Yes.
lives where you just cannot save, and there's lives that unfortunately you have to take. And you're coming across an accident scene. You're coming across. I have a friend of mine who's a California Highway Patrolman. Great guy. I mean, just he's actually the one who helped put my car seat in my car because I don't know what to do. He came over to my house in uniform in his CHP car, helped me put the car seat in there, and showed me how to do it. And great guy. And and he's told me stories about car accident scenes that he's seen
Hmm.
where they weren't wear their seatbelt, and just you see part of their brain and head and just all over the freeway. And you're like seeing that daily, you know what I mean? And then coming home and seeing your wife and kids. So you're literally switching your brain from seeing such a horrible thing to coming home and seeing the people you love the most.
We will return after this quick ad break.
The William H. Bill Butler Jr. Foundation is on a mission to honor first responders and support those who serve. We provide scholarships for families who have lost a hero in the line of duty, offer second chances to juvenile offenders who are working to rebuild their future, and help new recruits pursuing careers as first responders. Through generous donations and the sale of merchandise, we're building a community that uplifts, empowers, and creates lasting impact. You can be a part of this mission as well. Visit 8158podcast.com to donate or shop today. Together, we can support those who serve, honor those we've lost, and give hope to those who need it most. Behind every badge is a story, and behind every story is a sacrifice. This is the 8158 podcast, where we honor the lives and legacies of first responders and their families. If our mission speaks to your heart, if these stories move you like they move us, join us on Patreon. For just $5 a month, you'll get ad-free listening, exclusive merchandise, behind-the-scenes content, and video episodes only available to our patrons. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement, and you can be a part of it. Support us at patreon.com/8158podcast. Let's continue to share the stories that deserve to be heard.
So you're literally switching your brain from seeing such a horrible thing to coming home and seeing the people you love the most.
Right.
And where's that in between? Where's that in between of getting that emotions out before you come home? Well, these amazing people at Hearts for Heroes did just that. Where now they're trying to get service animals into every law enforcement police station and fire station, where police officer comes in their station, there's a dog there, and they're trained not to chew up stuff. They're trained not to do things that a normal dog, like my dog would do, chewing up things and messing up things and all that stuff. And they just go and, the minute that law enforcement officer or firefighter needs emotion or support or just wants to pet the dog, they call the dog and the dog comes and dog gives them love. And it's just
Right.
petting that dog and giving that dog just does something to a firefighter, first responder going, all right, I needed that. I needed that emotions. I needed that to release that before I came home.
Yeah.
And they
And
do
they do
this, and
this,
it's
and
it's amazing. But at the same time, this is a nonprofit that no one really knows about, except if you live in Northern California, and you're in one of those police stations or fire stations in Northern California that they go and visit and do this, but no one really
Mhm.
knows about them. And I try to advertise them a lot on my Instagram because this is something that is just an amazing thing that they do that could spread far and wide if they had the funds, if they had, you know, the the notoriety that other of these big charities have. You know what I mean? And so I'm going, okay, let me help you guys. And we talk to the CEO of of Shelly and myself. We talk all the time because I'm creating a shirt for their charity to sell. Um, and saying, listen, I want to make sure you guys get on the map somehow, whatever I could do. And then not only that, but in September, when my business starts, September 1st, I already have a soft open going on right now to test the system and everything like that. You can check it out, alphaready.com. I'll be alphareadyco.com. That's alphareadyco.com. You can check it out and see what I have. But September 1st, that's when we open to the public and advertise. And 25% every month is going to go to a different charity. So September 1st, 25% of everything we meet in September is going to go to Hearts for Heroes. And then I got another charity lined up in October and November and December. And I'm going to keep doing this. But these charities, these are not the big mom and pop ones. These are not the ones that you see on Fox News and CNN for, racking in a lot of money. Like I said, nothing wrong in this. They do an
Mhm.
amazing job. But these are the smaller charities that do an amazing job as well that no one really knows about, that helps military, helps veterans, help first responders every single day with either mental health, physical health. There's one that I'm going to be doing in December. And this is something that, when I got in touch with this charity, the CEO, and we were talking on the phone and getting to know him more and seeing what he does, I'm going, man, this is something that is untapped. Because when a military person leaves being in the military and they're done, either they got done during their service or they got medically discharged. Yeah, there's a TAPS class in the military. It's like a day or 2 days. Teaches you how to do jobs, teaches you kind of getting you ready for that civilian life.
Mhm.
But it's so quick, and that's it. So what do? You're just pretty much out there. Okay, let me try to find jobs. Let me find what I want to do now after serving years in the military, having a skill that I know someone out there will want the skill, but I don't know how to start. So there's this charity out there that does exactly that. That takes these veterans, shows them job placement, shows them how to build their resume, shows them how to act on interviews, and helps them find jobs in the federal and civilian sector. It's a nonprofit. These people don't make anything. This is just a nonprofit. These people that just do this day in, day out. And there's
Mhm.
another law enforcement charity I'm going to do in November and October that, one of them helps wheelchairs, gives wheelchairs to veterans. And I didn't know this, but do you know that if you need a wheelchair from the VA, like if they don't assign you one there at the VA and something happens to you, say tomorrow I fall and my injury gets worse and I need a wheelchair, they cannot send me a wheelchair the next day. It's going to take them a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks to give me a wheelchair because they don't have enough of them at the VA facility.
Jeez.
So I need a wheelchair. I can't move. What do I do? There's a charity that will ship you a wheelchair literally in the next few days as a nonprofit. That's what they do. They ship it to
Wow.
you. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
that's
like, that's amazing, man. Like no one knows about these charities. So my goal with my clothing company is to put them on the map. Not just put them on the map and advertise them as much as I can through all social media platforms, building a t-shirt for them, doing everything I can, but giving them 25% of whatever I make. If it's high or if it's low, I'm hoping it's high. I'm hoping
Mhm.
it's a good amount so I can come a good check. If they pay them through check or online. Here's the best part I'm doing this too, is that a lot of these companies, a lot of these t-shirt companies, a lot of these places, they go, I give money to veterans and give charity. That's great. I'm actually going to have proof. My viewers on Instagram are going to see at the end of the month, hey, this is how much money we made. This is going to go to charity. And I'm going to show you video of either paying it online or, whatever their payment process is, either online or get them on the speaker on the phone or whatever I need to do to prove to everyone that bought a shirt, nope, this money is actually going to this charity. And this is how much money we raised for this charity. And I'm going to be doing this every month at the end of the month. There's full transparency. So there's no question. Because you have a lot of these foundations, we give money. Do they? I don't know. That's not for me to say. You know what I mean? That's not my thing. But I want to make sure for people that bought a shirt or follow me on Instagram, there's going to be proof every month that this money went to this charity. And, a video from their CEO saying, yep, we got this money. Thank you so much. Whatever we need to do to show that proof in every month. And I'm hoping, like I said, man, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this. This is just an idea of mine to help, an idea to create a cool t-shirt, with designs that I've made. And I love doing it. It's fun. But at the same time, to help people, to help these charities. Charities do amazing jobs with first responders and veterans and military, giving them things that they need at a moment's notice at that time. And it's just my way of just, let's help you guys out. Let's do this. Let's make you guys money. Let's make you guys notoriety and benefit a great cause. So regarding to the podcast, I used to have a podcast just called Just Us Men podcast on YouTube. And it was a great podcast. Me and a few buddies did it last year. We talked about being a husband, being a father, talked about sports. We talked about, just everything, everything. We talked about motivation. We talked about mental health, physical health. Great podcast. One of my buddies, he had his fourth kid. And obviously, you having kids under the age of 5, several of them, it gets busy. And now, he's like, hey man, fortunately, my life's about to get busier, which is, we all understood, we all saw it, we all knew it, which is, he's still a good friend of mine to this day, great friend of mine. And so we did about 9 months of footage. We got up to episode 16 on YouTube, Just Us Men podcast. And it was a great time. People watch us every day on the algorithms. We see it on YouTube every day. People watch us, 300-400 people watch us every single day. Because the stories we tell, the motivation, the funny stories. Episode 16 was our last episode, and we went to UFC 303. I filmed a vlog, my first ever vlog I've ever done. Someone asked me last week, and they go, "Hey man, but it'd be stupid if I did like a vlog on YouTube. If I ever made a YouTube channel, did a vlog." I said, "Bro, you think, number one, I don't think your idea is stupid, and there's no stupid idea. But number two, I went in front of the UFC stadium in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Stadium, right before UFC 303, had a little mic in my hand, had my buddy's son as a producer, camera guy, and I'm walking around people, I'm nobody, asking them, hey man, who do you think's going to win in a fight? How do you feel about this fight? Because it was supposed to be McGregor fighting, and he backed out. He says he got injured. I don't know. We'll see. And but I'm walking around to people. I'm like, hey man, who do you think you got picked for the fight? And getting there like a news, like a sports anchor. And if you watch it on YouTube, it was pretty badass because people are like coming up to me and they're like, yeah, man, I think this is going to win. I think this guy's going to win. This is how I feel about this fight today. It's so much fun. So when someone came up to me, they're like, hey man, you think it's a stupid idea if I make a blog about this or that on YouTube? I'm like, no, because I never thought in a million years I'd be doing that. And I did. And it was fun. And I went to the UFC convention, had interviews with fighters and stuff. It was a great time. And you could see our whole trip from eating and drinking and, gambling and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. But I tell people, man, if you have an idea, if you want to do a podcast, if you want to do a YouTube channel, do it. Do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it takes work. It takes hard work. But I don't want you to go through life and go, oh man, I should have done that. Oh,
Right.
I wanted to do this, but I never did. I want you to go, hey, I did it, and is it success? Is anything going to be a success right off the bat? Obviously not. Nothing is. You know what I
Right.
mean? All these big corporations, Steve Jobs, Apple, Microsoft, out of the box when they first started, they were nothing. They didn't know nothing. They didn't have no sales, nothing. It took them months to years to get where they're at now. But if you don't give up and you keep going, and you're like, okay, let me work on this better. Let me do this better on the podcast. Let me do this better on the YouTube channel. How can I make this more interesting where I get followers and viewers? And people ask me like, "Hey, can you advertise my podcast? Can you advertise my thing on Instagram?" I'm like, absolutely. And what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of their Instagram followers just to see, hey, did I help any? You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
sure enough, at the end of the day or at the end of 2 days, they got over 10, 20 followers on their Instagram account. And I love doing that because it's like, yeah, let me help you succeed. And a lot of people don't see that. They see someone succeeding and they go, no, man, he's succeeding. I don't want to help him or I don't want to do this. And or they just kind of, but it's like, no, like you see someone working on something, a podcast, a YouTube channel, clothing brand, a business, help them succeed. Advertise them, help them, get them followers, get them subscribers, get them whatever they need to get for that to succeed. And I don't gain anything from it. I just love doing it because they have a dream, they have a vision, they have a goal. They want to get better at this. They want to get popular at this. They want to get more subscribers and viewers. Help them, advertise them for them. It doesn't take that long to put a story together on Instagram. Be like, all right, it takes me like 5 minutes. Hey,
Right.
follow these guys. These guys are awesome. And it helps. And I'm glad it does. And I've done it with all kinds of businesses and stuff, and it's great, you know? So if more and more people did that without expecting anything, oh, he has to pay me. No, fuck that. Come on, you know, be a good person. Just do it.
Yeah.
Advertise,
Human
help them
decency.
out. Human decency. Help them out. It doesn't take you that long. Do a story, do a post, whatever you got to do. Hey, man, you got to follow this. Hey, dude, you got to watch this and listen to this. They got some great content on this. I'm telling you, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. So
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
we
man. I'm
do
like
ads.
talking a lot. I'm talking a lot here, man. I'm just excited to be on the show.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time, man. I appreciate it. So
You're good. You're welcome. I was just gonna say that we do ads for nonprofits and stuff, and we just donate that time and the
yeah,
effort put into it just to
it's
kind of help
amazing.
them. And we
Exactly.
run it on our podcast, so
It's amazing, man. And exactly what you're doing is getting the word out there and helping nonprofits and helping these guys that they have a goal, they have a vision in mind to help people.
mhm,
They just need that funding. They need that notoriety. They need that,
yeah,
and it's crazy. You always hear these videos like, oh, this video went viral. Well, why did it go viral? Did a dude get kicked in the nuts? Did a dude get mugged? Did something where it's like, oh, I could see why this video went viral? Or let's make a video go viral where it's actually helping a cause, helping a charity, helping someone succeed. Let's make a video go viral doing that instead of
right,
something negative or something that's, political. I mean, nothing against politics and all that. I help a lot of people doing this stuff as well. But let's make a video where it's helping a great cause or someone succeed or if the nonprofit succeed, get their name out there more and funding
right,
and let these businesses and podcasts and advertisers, you know that what they're doing and helping people is paying off and not just kind of hidden away and quiet and disappearing away because this video of this dude getting kicked in the balls is more interesting than helping this nonprofit or this company succeed that's helping other people, or this podcast succeed that's giving wisdom and knowledge to mental health and PTSD and veterans and first responders. No, I'd rather watch this video right here that this guy's getting kicked in the balls or this guy's just mugged an old lady and no one did anything about it. That's more
right.
popular to me. Let's change that. Let's change that stigma. So
Yeah, it's unfortunate that people are, that short-minded. Like their attention spans are only that big.
yep, yep.
But yeah, we have our own nonprofit that we started recently as well. It goes to help all first responders and the families of first responders, kind of like Tunnels and Towers.
Right.
But also we included juvenile offenders to become first responders and maybe get them help so that
Oh,
they can stop that. You get them early, you stop that
right.
behavior early, get them counseling, and then maybe change their mindset to get them to either, if they want to be a first responder or to kind of get them help to live beyond their normal life, like what they've gone through. Because a lot of juvenile offenders, have really bad backgrounds with their families and stuff.
Right, right. And that's the reason why they got into that life of crime in the first place. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because they've already had a bad upbringing and they just thought that was the only way out to get into that life of crime. that is impressive, man. That is truly remarkable. We got to talk. You'll be starting off next year. I'll tell you that right now, because what you guys do, and you see these, these juveniles went to jail, went to juvenile hall, and thinking this is it. Getting involved in gangs, because when you're in that type of environment, it's easy to be picked up by any gang, and then that's it. That's
Yeah.
your life. What I mean? That's your life now. Smuggling drugs, crime, murder. That's your life. Once you're in that gang, there's no way out except death.
Right.
So you're taking these kids that could easily be influenced by gangs and go, no, man, you actually could be in law enforcement.
Right.
That's
That's right.
incredible. That is incredible. That, man, that's impressive. That I would never have thought of that. That is incredible, man. Good job. Keep that up. Keep it up. And I'm going to make sure, do me a favor right after this, send me some stuff that I can put on Instagram, because I want to let people know about that, because no one, obviously, this is the first time I ever heard about it, such a nonprofit that would do something like that. And you're
Right.
catching criminals in a way that is not catching them and arresting them. You're catching future could be criminals and changing their life perspective,
Right.
changing that path in life that was given to them by a bad life hand, and
Mhm.
changing that life, going, no, man, you do not have to be in this type of life. You don't have to be in a gang. You don't have to be in this type of criminal activity life. Let's change it where you actually could help people.
Right.
And being in law enforcement and being a first responder, that's incredible. That's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. Personal experience. I've been there, and I was a
I mean,
knucklehead.
we're all knuckleheads. Come on, man. We're all, some worse than others, but we're all knuckleheads one way or the other. So,
Yeah, but I thought that would be a good thing, because if you catch them young, change
yep.
their mindset, it it would go a long way to changing
Oh,
their life.
huge
Yeah,
long way. Huge. So
yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, we
that's
we just
amazing.
started that pretty recently. So we've been selling our own merch. We've been making our own merch,
Oh, heck yes.
and just selling it so that the profits from the merchandise goes into the foundation,
Right.
and then a percentage goes back into making more merch so that we can keep building
Right.
the foundation a
They
little
just keep
bit.
building it up. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Wow. Have you got any like good testimonial stories or anything you want to share? Anything that, where you've literally, you know, you could see the effect of this, what you guys are doing?
We just, as far as the nonprofit, we just set that up uh,
Oh,
fairly recently. So it's just
nice,
we're
nice.
in
So
the
you're just
infancy years.
groundbreaking it now, right now.
Yes. Just
Nice.
like the podcast, we just started this podcast the first of this year,
Oh, nice.
and we've already put out 60 something episodes.
And I'm telling
So
you right now, man, and I'm claiming it right now, and I'm just that type of guy. What you guys do, I've already watched several episodes. What you guys do here, and what your nonprofit that you're groundbreaking, that you're about to start right now, the lives that you're about to change, the juveniles, the people that you're about to fix, their path in life, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be remarkable. It's going to be countless. Get ready to get busy, man, because you're about to open a door that has not been opened, and a door that needs to be opened in this type of criminal justice system that easily kids get lost in, and
yes,
juveniles especially, that need that type of foundation, need that type of help, need that. No, man, look, just because you were in juvie doesn't mean that's who you are. You could
right,
change. You could
right,
fix the situation. No one's going to judge you on your past, as long as you go, you know what? I didn't want to be this way. I got mixed up in the wrong crew, and
right,
now I want to change who I am and fix it and become someone better. And it's all because of what you're trying to build right now. Everybody who's watching this and listening, subscribe to his channel. Make sure that you guys help him out, because I see this charity helping a lot of kids, a lot of juveniles get on the right path. And I'm sure every single person that is listening to this or watching this been through that, seen that by other family, friends, or even as strangers. They go, why is this kid? He's 13 years old. Why is he robbing cars? Why is he doing this? Because he didn't have that path. And you're trying to say, no, let's change this. Let's fix that path. And I think that's awesome, man. Keep it up. Keep it up.
The other thing that we're doing, this is not just a podcast to us. It's we've been building connections with other like therapists and nonprofit agencies that help first responders and veterans deal with their mental health issues,
Yep.
and we do it for free, basically, because they're a nonprofit.
Wow. Right.
So we've made connections with them, and we try to get their information out so that a lot of the veterans and first responders can get help that way. If they
That's
can't go
amazing.
to their superiors and get help for
Yep.
them.
Yep. And that's one thing with everybody who's in first responder position or, prior first responder or military veteran. When you go through something and you see something and you have PTSD towards something or depression towards something that you went through, you know, and especially something big. I mean, take the firefighters from 9/11. The first responders from 9/11. I mean, they're seeing their own friends, their own coworkers not coming out. And when they do come out, they're in box. You know what I mean? And it's like seeing that. And I bet you at that time, obviously, they were able to voice it and talk about it. And, they had counselors everywhere and ministers and all that. But now, some people could take things and go, okay, that didn't affect me. Some are light, where something small where you think that wouldn't affect me is affecting this guy, you know? And for me, like I'll give you an example. For me, seeing, hearing stories of kids dying in hot cars, seeing stories of kids dying, drowning in pools that happen quite way more than it should here in Houston, that affects me. And I'm not even the first responder coming onto the scene seeing that. Just
Right.
hearing it on the news affects me because I have a 4.5-year-old. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, what the world, and you kind of just want to go, what happened there? What happened? And even my own daughter, even if I got to go to a gas station, I'm like, okay, I know I need to go inside to just get a bottle of water really quick for 2 seconds. I'm taking my daughter out of that car. I don't care. Yeah, it's a pain sometimes, but put her on my shoulders and let's go. I mean, never in my life would leave my daughter in a hot car for more than a minute or nothing.
Right.
You just don't do that. You know what I
Don't
mean?
leave the unattended period.
Exactly. Exactly. Even not even leaving them unattended. I mean, I was doing the dishes when I was last week when I was off with her for summer break. And she has, my wife gives her a little makeup bag and stuff, and she's playing makeup. I turned my back. I'm in the kitchen. She's right there in the living room. And I turned my back. She's putting makeup on her, and I'm putting away the dishes. And I turned, I looked forward. I'm like, oh my goodness. And she had makeup just caked from head to like literally all her face just covered in makeup, her hands. And I'm like, first I got to take a picture of this because this is crazy. Took a picture of it, sent it to my wife. And then I started the cleaning process. I went into my wife's cabinet under her sink and I pulled out all her bags of makeup wipe removers. I
Yeah.
mean, bags this big. I think I used like 4 bags of makeup wipe removers to remove all that makeup from my daughter. It was insane. But like, I'm right there and stuff like this happening. So imagine if you're leaving a kid in a hot car. Imagine if you're leaving a kid unattended in a pool. Like I'm
Right.
part Coast Guard. Like that would not happen at all. Like blows my mind when I hear a kid drowning. That's an
Yeah.
unexcusable death completely. So it
Yeah.
just, oh my goodness, man. Yeah. So what you guys deal with and the PTSD and the depression and everything you guys see every single day, knowing that as a first responder, knowing, hey man, I need to talk to someone. I need to voice how I feel, knowing that you've built this safe space. It's like, hey, no, let's talk. What's going on? You pretty much have your own poker table right
Mhm.
there, and that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Keep it up.
Yeah. We also do have a hotline that we had established ourselves. It's connected to my phone, so if anybody wants to call and they just want to vent or talk,
Yep.
I'm there for them. So
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Keep it up, man. You don't realize the lives you're about to save and the lives you've already saved. You just don't realize. And if more and more people were like this, if more and
right.
more people opened up their heart and opened up their mind and said, hey, I haven't seen my neighbor in a while. Let me go check on my neighbor. What's going
Hmm.
on? You know what I mean? Hey, I see my buddy at work that it's just every time I see him, he just seems so down. He seems like something's going on, or you know what I mean? Like you see it, being a first responder, you see on the news A guy kills his wife, kills his kid, and then kills himself. That mindset he had before those actions took place did not happen that day.
No.
Did not. That mindset was already building up little by little, until he finally snapped. Why didn't no one see that? A neighbor, a friend, a coworker. Hey man, something's going on with him. Instead of talking about it behind his back or gossiping or rumors or putting him down, go up to him and be like, hey, let's go have a drink. Let's go talk. Let's go have a eat. My treat, man. I'll buy you dinner. Let's go talk. That
Yeah.
way, you don't know what financial situation is going on in his life. If you go say, hey, if you go up to anybody and go, hey, let's go have dinner, let's go out to eat. You don't know what's going on financially with that person. So obviously, if something's going on financially with that person's going to be like, no, man, it's cool. I'm just busy. And they're not going to tell you, hey, man, I'm broke as hell right now. Or something's going on with me financially. I just can't afford to even go out to eat.
Exactly.
That's why I always tell them, hey, let's go out to eat. I'm buying. Oh, no. You have no excuse now. Like, I'm buying whatever you want. You want steak? What, let's go. What do you want? What do you feel like? And then all of a sudden you start building the opening up, and they're like, all right. Yeah, I could use this. I could use a burger. All right, cool. Let's go and get a burger. And then little by little, you start opening up that floodgate. And then all of a sudden you start seeing what is wrong with this person and the
Mhm.
battles and the demons that they're battling every single day. And sometimes, like you said, all they just need a vent. They just need a phone call. They just need someone just to talk to. And my phone is always on, just like yours. And that's amazing, where it's like, yeah, you call me. I don't care any time of the night. I don't care. Call me. We'll talk. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to get mad at you. And I can guarantee you right now, my wife won't, because she knows what this is my heart. She knows that, everybody has a gift, and I'm
Right.
finally using mine. And I didn't realize I had it. And I'm very
Exactly.
thankful and humbled by using this gift. And you have a gift yourself that you're using, and use it. You keep helping people. This is amazing.
We will be.
Seriously,
Promise
that's
my
truly
husband's wife
amazing.
that we still do it, and
Yep,
we're running with it. So,
that's amazing. Keep it up. Keep it up.
so for our last question, for those inspired by your story, how can they connect with you or get involved with you in your mission?
So follow me on my Instagram, alpha/ready/co, alpha ready co. On my Instagram, DM me, and pretty much, yeah, let's work together to accomplish the mission of helping and giving back. And obviously, another way, if you can't have the time to do something, or you don't have something where you can give wisdom and knowledge or help to someone, buy a T-shirt, because that one
Mhm.
purchase alone helps a charity right away. That one
Yeah.
purchase alone, you know. And you're thinking, well, it's only a few bucks. I just bought one T-shirt. I didn't do much. I can guarantee you right now that few dollars that we're going to give from your T-shirt to a charity means so much to that charity. For a charity that doesn't get funded like other big charities, that maybe no one really knows of, you know what I mean? But something that that charity does that affects someone's life every single day, either mentally or physically. A veteran, a military spouse, a military personnel, a first responder that goes through stuff that a normal person that is not a veteran, that is not a military personnel, that is not a first responder, that's never seen, they don't understand, except those people that work and have worked in those industries.
Yeah.
So if you want to help, by all means, please reach out to me. That's great. I love your help. If you just don't have the time or just don't have the resources or whatever, go on my website, alphareadyco.com. Buy a t-shirt. Because that one purchase right there, you're showing me that you want to help. And you're about to
Mhm.
help a great charity that's going to change someone's life mentally or physically. You know what I mean? You're not just helping a charity, you're helping a charity that no one knows about. You know what I mean? A charity like yourself that you just made, for yours, a new one. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell your viewers, I'm going to tell you, I already have charities lined up for September, October, November, December. Yours is January.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you right now,
Awesome.
yours is January. January, come January. I mean, we're going to keep in touch because now you're a friend of mine. You're a family now. This is who you are now. So I'm sorry, you're family now. So, it's just you're going to be getting calls and texts and, funny sports shit and, things like that, and what team, which football team you like?
Hey, I was born in the Bay Area, so I'm a Niners fan.
Oh, man. All right. All right. That's cool. So when the Niners play the Texans, I'm going to just be talking smack and just texting you and, and be like, so that's who I am. I love it. I love sports. I love, talking smack. And I play fantasy. I started a fantasy league last year with a bunch of my friends. We got a draft coming up at the end of this month. It's fun,
Oh,
but
yeah.
dude, like I've learned a lesson and I played fantasy back in the day, but last year, I don't know why I did this. I put all of Texans on my fantasy. So
Mhm.
I had full stack of Texans on my fantasy team. And which is cool when they're doing good, but when they have a bye week,
Mhm.
man,
You
you're
don't get enough
screwed.
points.
You were screwed. And it was
You don't
funny
get
because
enough
my
points.
my my wife was playing fantasy. So my wife plays fantasy. She loves fantasy. She's very competitive. And so is my other buddies. And I was working and it was last year. It was crazy time was going on. Something was going on with the new, end of year stuff. And there was just a lot of stuff going on at work. And it was the week I was playing with my wife in fantasy. Not only that, but it was the week the Texans were on bye.
Mhm.
So my wife knew that because she's looking at it, and I haven't looked at my fantasy football team all week. It's like Thursday morning, you know what I mean? And I knew that, okay, I'm like, I know I got to check it, and I know they're playing tonight and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, my wife comes to my desk and she goes, because she works with me. Don't ever piss off your wife if she works with you. I'll tell you that right now, because you get to see her all the time. So you try to keep a good rapport with your wife. So she comes up to me. She was like, "All right, listen, I'm going to do you a solid." I'm like, "What's up?" She goes, "You're playing me this week." I'm like, "Yep, I am." And she goes, "I don't have to say anything. I could have watched you lose bad, but I know you've had a hectic week and everything going on. I had a few medical appointments and work was crazy and all this." She goes, "I'm letting you know right now, your whole team is on bye and you're playing me." And I just looked at her, my eyes lit up. I'm like, "What?" And I looked at my really quick, opened my phone, and sure enough, all of them were on bye. I'm like, so I'm like trying to do
Uh,
everything I can to mitigate this. And, I mitigated it the best I could. I still lost bad to her because I just didn't have all the good players were already picked. You know what I mean? But it's just fun. It's a great time. But you're family now, man. So, just get ready for that. Um,
no.
but come January, you're going to be our charity to pick. I'll make sure you'll know way more in advance before that. I'd
Yeah.
like to make a T-shirt for you guys. I do that for every charity now. I make a T-shirt that you already will get 25% of what I make a month. But the charity T-shirts that I make for each charity, that charity gets 75% of that T-shirt. So I don't make shit because I don't want to. I don't care. So that charity gets every time someone buys that specific shirt for your charity, and we'll make it badass. We'll work together and make it badass for you. Um, get 75% of that shirt. And here's the best part. This is what I'm doing, and I've been placed, is that the charity T-shirts are going to stay on my website permanently, unless you tell me, go ahead, take it off, and that's up to you. I'm going to say permanently. So come a year from now, your shirt will still be on there. And that
Sweet.
means is that every time that shirt gets paid, you get a check for 75% of whatever every time someone buys that shirt for your charity.
That'd be
So
awesome.
every time a charity shirt is purchased for that charity, no matter if that charity month is the charity that we're benefiting that month, is getting 75%. And my wife's really good with numbers. She's the CFO of our family for a reason with bills and all that. And she's the CFO of my company. So
Right.
she makes sure that every penny of whatever profit or charity of that shirt is made gets paid online or whatever financial obligation we want to pay you guys in or however you want to do it. But we want to make sure that will be full transparency as well. Because like I said, I'm fine with my Ford. I'm fine with my house.
Right.
I gotta get my mirror fixed. So I don't get pulled over here soon. But I'm fine with that. I don't care. Like I'm very simple, man.
Right.
I've served a great military life and done the great things to help people and I just want to give it forward. I just want to make sure you help other these people and exactly what your charity doing. I want to help because I think that's amazing. And the lives you're going to change and affect. Because like I said, you can't go in the grave with your money. And I've
Nope.
almost died several times from
Yeah.
overseas and the things I've done, and even by my own hands. Life is precious, and I'd rather give and help other people's lives succeed than go buy a nice Ferrari that I don't fucking need. I don't, you know. So
You're rich at heart.
Dude, I'd rather go to heaven with helping, knowing I help people
Yeah.
than what, dying in a coffin with millions. What's the point of that?
Yeah, you can't take
So,
it with you.
yeah,
Yeah, we definitely would appreciate that. Yeah, we do have shirts and stuff too, and we have our logo, so we could send you a
that'd be
copy of
awesome, man.
all
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff. I mean, we have the podcast logo, plus we have the foundation logo, which I have one right here.
oh that's sweet. I like that. That's badass. Heck yeah,
Yeah, it's my
that's
cousin's
badass right
name,
there. That's
William
cool.
H. Bill Butler Jr.
I love it. I love it, man. That is sweet. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we
So,
had those.
but
We designed those ourselves, and we had them embroidered.
that is cool. I like it. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to be helping you guys out whatever I can.
Yeah,
So,
we'd appreciate that.
oh yeah,
And
man.
I don't know if you saw the picture that I had up here. If I was up on the thing, there was a little
Yeah.
round picture in the beginning. That's my cousin.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
man.
he served 20
That's
years in the army and
that's
the National
amazing,
Guard, and
man. Well, thank.
well,
He's
was
he's a
well,
hero.
yeah,
Yep,
he is.
he is. He is.
Yeah,
He's the people that deserves recognition, not the movie stars, not all these people. I mean, celebrities and all that. Yeah, that's cool. You could act, you could dunk, you could catch a football. Like I said, I love sports. But the
yeah,
real heroes are first responders, military, veterans. Those are the people that risk their lives every single day to protect ours and our freedoms. Those are the real heroes right there. So
right. Yeah, 20 years in the military, and then 13 and a half years with the sheriff's department.
it's amazing. Still protecting and serving to this day. Amazing. So amazing.
Yeah, he was a good man.
Oh yeah.
He still is. He left his spirit with us, so we're
Yep.
carried it forward in his
Very,
honor.
very grateful for his honor. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
So
man, I want to thank you for this opportunity, man, and thank you for bringing me on here. Greatly do appreciate it. Greatly do.
we appreciate having you on. It's an honor to have you on here. You served your country, you served our country, you protected us, and we love you. We love you for that. We love all of our first responders and military veterans for what you guys do, men and
I
women.
appreciate it, man. And it's just I would do it all over again. All over again. That's how much I love it. Knowing
Yeah,
the repercussions, knowing the injuries, knowing there could be death. Don't care. Don't care. Those firemen ran into the World Trade Center towers knowing, I'm sure in their head, this was going to be it for me. But they
yep,
didn't care. They wanted to go and save people. And
right,
that's what the mentality of everybody should be on this earth, is to help people instead of trying to look after themselves and how would they benefit themselves. So,
exactly. Yeah,
but I
that's right.
appreciate this opportunity and very honored and thankful to be on this podcast, man. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you as well. Hopefully, we get to have you back on here again, and we'll check out your podcast when you get that up and going, and
Oh, definitely.
that or something.
Oh, definitely. We definitely will, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, be looking forward to listening to it.
Oh, we'll do. I can't wait. I can't wait to build it. Hopefully, the next few months. It's just trying to make sure my clothing brand is up and running first. And so far, it's
Yeah,
going. It's going. Everything's all the testing. Everything's good, and we're ready to rock and roll come September 1st. I'm excited. So
sweet, awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. We'll go to your website and check it out.
I appreciate it. AlphaReadyCo.com.
alphareadyco.com. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got that written down right there.
perfect. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for this opportunity again.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you. You too, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right.
All right, everybody. That was Jason. He's former military, and he is the CEO of Alpha Ready Co. They do a clothing line. He's getting ready to do a podcast called Alpha Ready. He's an awesome person. He served his country. He still serves his country, and he has an awesome safe space for veterans and an outreach that he does in his personal time at his home. Uh, he's doing great things. This is a very honorable man. He has the same spirit that my cousin has, and It's awesome. We love that. We love that our first responders and our veterans uh, that have gone through traumatic things and they're coming out and they're fighting and they're standing up and doing something about it. This is amazing. All right, everybody. This is 8158. Thank you for listening and thank you for your support. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us on 8158 Stories of Sacrifice. Every story we share is a tribute to the courage and resilience of first responders and their families. If this episode impacted, encouraged, or inspired you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who supports first responders. Follow us on all social media platforms at 8158 Podcast for updates. 8158 Stories of Sacrifice is a team effort. Rico brings the stories to life through casting, writing, original music, and editing. Brianne Shipley as production manager, handling booking, social media, graphics, promotion, marketing, website management, and logo design. Please visit our website at 8158podcast.com. For questions, collaborations, or to share your story, our email address is contactus@8158podcast.com. Until next time, let's continue to honor the legacies and remember the sacrifices of those who serve, every brave man and woman on the front lines, protecting and defending us all. This is Rico signing off and honoring 8158.